Hey everybody, welcome back to BigRedEDC, and welcome to a very long overdue edition of Channel Chat. We'll just say it's been a few months, but we're back at it. And as you can see me, joining me is what I like to think of as the artist formerly known as Stevie Wonder Woman, said Stevie. How you doing, buddy?
Doing well, doing well.
Good. It is glad to have you here, a fellow Pacific Northwesterner. As we were kind of chit-chatting right before, we actually saw the sun for a couple of days. So it's like, but have you seen the forecast?
Yeah, we're right back at it. right back at the doom and gloom.
Nellie was looking at it and she's like, cloud, rain, cloud, rain, cloud. I'm like, wow, you're just a ball of cheer, aren't you? So yeah, unfortunately.
We're still in that April showers bring May flowers phase, though, right?
Oh, I hope. Yeah, I. It just seems like the winter has gone late. I don't know.
Big time.
I don't know. I just had a guy from work. He had been to Minnesota here the past week or so, kind of up by that Fargo, North Dakota area of Minnesota. I was like, "Hey, how was your trip?" And he was like, "Snowy every day." Snow. I was like, really? He's like, yes. I'm like, wow, okay. So at least we're not getting snow, but I'm not a fan of the snow. I don't know how you feel about it.
I enjoy it now.
It's pretty.
Now that work, I don't have to. It doesn't impact work for me. I love it. It doesn't bother me.
There you go. So no, but yeah, it's pretty on the mountains. It looks beautiful. I like it there, I mean, and it's just it's because the state really around here just doesn't know how to deal with it. They don't have the equipment, they don't have and it's just they don't know how to deal with it. So it's just like,
no. There's that aspect of it. Yeah.
So like in the mountains, okay, they've got all their trucks and stuff up there, but down here, no.
Right.
So, well, as you know, like I said, it's been a little while since I've done one of these, and I do have just kind of a couple initial questions that we kind of break the ice with, and then we'll get right into, because there's a lot of cool stuff that you got going on that I want to talk to you about, my friend. But so what really got you into knives at first? How old, like the when, where?
So Cub Scouts. I joined Cub Scouts when I was 6 years old, and I got my first sack, my first Swiss Army knife. It was a Cub Scout Swiss Army knife.
Yeah.
So I think I was about 6-ish or so.
Wow.
And quickly lost it, as a 6-year-old would. But that was my first fascination into a cutting tool.
Sure.
We used, as if anyone's familiar with the Cub Scouts and then on to Boy Scouts, woodworking and whittling and everything. That's a big part of it. And your Swiss Army knife was your tool.
Oh yeah.
And so I think from an early age is when knives just caught my attention and my fascination.
So it was a Cub Scout Swiss Army knife that didn't hang around long. So I guess that answers my next question of still having said Cub Scout Swiss Army knife.
Well, I don't have that, but I do still have, and it's always on my desk. I got this guy right here. I didn't know you were going to ask this question, but I happen to have this right here. Ooh. This is a 1944 Schrade Walden Auto that my grandfather gave me when I was 8 years old.
No way.
Yeah. And
dude, that is freaking awesome.
And I've had this. I retired it from my pocket probably 5-ish years ago. But when I say I carried this thing for the majority of 30 plus years, I mean it. This is something that has been as an idiot little kid, brought it to school and got it confiscated. I got it stolen from me, and my mom had to go to the kid's house and get it back.
Oh, dang.
It would get taken away from me for just being dumb with it. But yeah, my grandpa gave me this when I was 8 when we were fishing. He asked me where my pocket knife was. Didn't have one. I lost it, Grandpa. reached into the tackle box, tossed me this one, and never knew the story behind it until it was right. Grandpa was towards the end of his days, and he always asked, "Got your knife on you, Stevie?" Got my knife, and I asked him finally, "Where did this come from, Grandpa?" He got this when my grandpa was in World War II, and when he got out of the service in New York, he was in New York, walked into what I think was Schrade Walden. That's where they sold. New York is where Schrade Walden was sold in a storefront. He walked in and bought himself a knife.
No.
This was just a knife to him that he had in his tackle box, and gave it to me. And yeah, it's near and dear to my heart, and it's literally something that has been with me. I'm 43 years old, and I've carried 30 plus years. I carried this thing. So
That's awesome.
when I say I've been into EDC my whole life, I have been, you know.
Well, and now is it a swell center? Does it have like a swell? Does it swell in the center and of the handle?
A little bit. I think they call it the fishtail.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's definitely got to have a fishtail bolster on it.
Yep.
Dude, that's too cool.
It's you know, I don't know what the steel is. It's some carbon steel. It's, you know, patinaed like crazy. It's still got the tip to it. I've never broke the tip off it, but I've sharpened this thing, I don't know how many times. The lockup isn't what it used to be. It's not centered at all. You know, but
you know what? A knife like that doesn't have to be.
Right.
Because that is like so far down on the priority list with a knife like that. Absolutely.
Yeah. You know, and I've thought about, you know, could I have it restored? And, you know, no, I mean, even if I could, I don't want to. All the battle scars, like I know, like, I mean, I won't, it's long-winded stuff. Like I know why some of the scratches are on here, you know, from different tasks that I've done over the years. And yeah, I adore this thing. And
but not only that, if you got it restored, and I mean, obviously it's your knife, you can do whatever you like with it. But for me, if I were thinking about getting it restored, it would remove some of that character that your grandfather put on it.
Right.
And that is priceless.
For sure.
So, oh, dude, that is so cool. That is really, really awesome.
Yep. It's always on my desk now. It's basically a glorified letter opener. Sure. And I don't really get that many letters.
Yeah.
But it's something that I still fidget with all the time. It's always on my desk, always within my sight.
That's too cool.
Yeah,
that is very cool. I appreciate you sharing that. It's stuff like that is why I like doing these, because you know when you're one-on-one like this, you can really just talk. And you know, like the live streams when you have a bunch of people are fun. They're great. They're a great time. But you're trying to talk to everybody and pay attention to the chat all at the same time. And I'm guilty. I miss stuff, you know, I do. And it's just, I feel bad, but I do.
It's not easy doing that. I don't think a lot of people realize trying to have, because paying attention to the chat and having a conversation, it's like trying to have two conversations at once.
Exactly. And I'm definitely not that good.
Right. And nobody wants to ignore the chat.
No.
Just, again, you get into conversation.
Oh, yeah.
You know, so yeah, no, one-on-one is always, you know, you get a lot more, you can go a little bit more in depth and
exactly
things. And
exactly. Well, talk about in depth. You and a bunch of other terrific people in the community have kind of started off on this venture of the EDC Roundtable. Now, can you just, and I know we've been talking about it, you've been talking about it on lives, and we've been talking about it, but can you just give us a brief synopsis of what the EDC Roundtable is and what it's all about?
Yeah, so the idea of it started really a couple months ago between me and Joe, Lancelot Leather, and it really started with a conversation of, you know, there's a lot of smaller makers within the community, and kind of the community being like the chat, you know, you know, the people that are helping support everybody, right?
Absolutely.
Started noticing that there's a lot of smaller makers, and he's like, we just started talking about being able to give them a platform to sell their wares. You know, a lot of them, it's hit me up on Instagram, you know, send me an email, which is fine, you know, but if they want to, you know, kind of take it to the next level, being able to put something up on a website, you know, it's kind of an Etsy is what we started thinking about, an Etsy for EDC, because there are EDC items on Etsy, but it's a seed,
sure.
right? And you can get lost.
Oh, yeah.
You know, a lot of people aren't able to succeed.
Right.
And it kind of just blossomed from there. And so we started thinking about not necessarily so much what products we were looking for to start featuring, but the makers themselves. And, you know, we wanted to put together a group of like-minded people that are focused on the community itself. And so we started putting some feelers out there. And I originally, I just thought I was an idea contributor to this and was going to maybe help promote it. But in the back of my mind, I had something that I had been wanting to work on for a while. And one of the things that we talked about starting this is, once we start giving people a platform, it's probably going to start inspiring people that have ideas that didn't really think that they had an outlet.
Sure.
I'm a perfect example of that. So I said, you know, Joe really, I should say, he really started inspiring me particularly, and said, well, I could be a member of the roundtable. And so let me back up. I'm getting a little ahead. The idea of the roundtable, though, in itself, so once we figured we'd have all the different makers, it's truly a roundtable in the sense of Knights of the Round Table. The table was round for a reason. There was no head of the table. Everyone's ideas were equal, and everyone had a say. There's no one person in charge of everything, although we all kind of have divvied up responsibilities, but we wanted it to be somewhere where everyone had a voice, and really, you know, full of people from the community making products for the community.
Sure.
And so, yeah, we reached out to a few people, and some people weren't on board. They just, you know, they weren't interested. But we found a really good group of people so far. And so it's going to be Joe, obviously, Lancelot Leather, who, hey, cheers. Someone who I think is probably one of the most well-known of us. Then we have Forrest SLR, Forrest Hanks. Cheers, brother. We have Andrew, Hawaii Knife and Gear.
Oh, I don't have that one in. Oh, I don't have one of those clothes. Oh, so, dude.
You know, making his custom koa wood.
Oh, those are so beautiful.
And now not just his Swiss Army knives, but all sorts of koa wood art. We have Gene and Kayla Johnson. Hey, it's the Johnsons, who Gene is. I've dubbed them our bushcraft king and crochet queen. So Gene, being the bushcraft master that he is making custom fire steels.
Mm-hmm.
And then Kayla crochets all sorts of stuff. Let's see, you know, she's kind of known for her cat butt.
Everybody needs a little cat butt in their life.
And amongst other things. Then we have Lee Pollard, who is Mastranza Blades. He is a custom fixed blade. He's a bladesmith, a steelsmith, making fixed blades and chef's knives, custom work. And then you have said Stevie making his beard oil. As we were talking before, I've spent the vast part of today designing beard labels. And
cool.
It was going to be just beard oil, and then I got adventurous and tried my hand at making some beard balm as well. So now I will be featuring for every scent of oil that I have, I'll also have a matching beard balm to go along with it.
Oh, well, I guess I know where I'm going to start shopping for my beard products. You got it hooked up.
Yeah, and so yeah, we're starting to get the word out now. Started on social media. I kind of took over that aspect of it. So I'm the man behind the scenes, trying to promote everybody. And the launch date though is going to be May 14th.
That's for the website, correct?
That's yes.
Okay.
The website will be starting on May 14th. We'll be doing a live stream on my channel, kind of launching the site and talking about, featuring all the products and everything. But yeah, so that's the idea. It's getting well received so far. I think it's something that is going to catch on, and I think we're going to be, again, it's going to be awesome to see how many people actually come from this.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. It's going to be, and now I don't know if with Andrew, his Coalwood covers that he's doing, they're just absolutely fantastic. Have you ever seen any of the coconut micarta he's done?
I have. I've not seen it in person, but I have seen some of that stuff. And Andrew is a mad genius. Look,
yeah.
I will say everyone in their own right that we have is kind of a mad genius.
Sure, of course.
Andrew is someone that, he is the method to his madness he can't even explain. But man, the talent that guy has. And I met him initially through, I knew who he was. I had seen his channel throughout the years, but it was through Knife Rights during Knives Live that I met him.
Yeah.
He was on with I forget who he was, one of the early morning, but he was on there.
Okay.
And that's the first time he had done a face reveal. And listening to him talk more, I had to reach out and started talking to him. And so even prior to EDC Roundtable, I kind of made friends with Andrew. And I wish he would do some of his lives more where it's just him showing his technique and what he's got going on in the garage there. But man, if you guys haven't seen Andrew on Instagram right now, he's branching out and doing so much more stuff, making jewelry and Coalwood fixed blades. And but he really is he's a mad genius when it comes to that stuff. And he's such a perfectionist that
I know. He sent me a couple of his, Swiss Army knives early on. And he's like, this is what I'm working on. What do you think? And I was like, look at it. And I was like, these things are gorgeous, man. They're beautiful. And he's like, yeah, but it's not right. And I'm like looking at it and I'm like, what's not right about it, dude? Right. I'm like, what? And he's like, okay, well, can you see? And I'm like, no, dude, I can't. But you can because you did it.
Yeah.
But I was like, no, dude, I can't see it. But it's gorgeous, just beautiful. And we actually got the opportunity to meet him when we went to Oahu. We got the opportunity to meet him and talk to him. And he took us out. I have no idea where he took us. He took us out in the country somewhere. Right at first, it was like, how horror movies start like this, but you just met a guy and he takes you off into the jungle, right? But he showed us one of these awesome places where he films his videos, and it was just, it was awesome, man. And we looked at, because he buys those bins, those what is it, the
TSA?
There you go, TSA. Yeah. He just has, like, I swear to God, he has hundreds and hundreds of Swiss Army knives. And
literally hundreds and hundreds.
Yes. And it was like, and he's a big Tucson guy too, as well.
Yep.
Big into Tucsons, loves the Tucsons, which is very cool. So yeah, it was awesome. Then we went and had dinner and stuff. So I actually have got the opportunity to meet him and talk to him. And he's a really cool dude. Absolutely.
Yep.
And like you said, part mad scientist, I think, with what he's coming up with.
Yeah, truly an artist. You know, he has that artist mentality.
Yeah.
And they can be a little aloof sometimes, right? You know, but that's part of the that's what makes them, you know, that's their muse, you know. So yeah, he's someone that I'm glad to have gotten to know.
Oh, absolutely.
You know, I don't I don't try to take the credit for it, but they give me the credit for it. So I reached out to Andrew. I had to have this is my first one. I had to have something from him.
Sure.
And so he sent me, you know, just a 58 millimeter, bought it from him. And then I reached out to Joe and I said, hey, I just got a sack from Andrew, who he didn't know at the time. I need a slip for yours. Well, I ordered one of Joe's standard 58 millimeters and it didn't fit because it's a different
yeah
on it. So
sure
Joe had reached out to Andrew at that point and said, hey, can you give me the measurements of all this? And that's what started them talking. And so they, you know, Joe made at the time, before they knew they were really going to partner, Joe made a stamp so he could stamp. So Joe made, this is number one of the collaboration before it was official. They stamped, he stamped Hawaii Knife and Gear's logo on it, as well as Lancelot leather, and sent that to me.
That's cool.
Where they started talking and said, hey, we should start doing something together, you know? So like right now you can go to Lancelot Leather
right
website and you can buy one of Andrew's knives with an option to get a leather slip from it. But yeah, I got 1, 2, 3, 4 Hawaii Knife and Gear Lancelot leather slips at this point. But
right.
Yeah, that to me, that was peanut butter and jelly.
Oh, you know? I was gonna say that's a match made in heaven right there.
Yeah.
Absolutely, 100%. When those two got together, it was like, oh man, yeah, okay. Yeah. This just makes sense. It really does. Because yeah, and especially and when you're talking about Joe, you know, just the stuff he comes up with. This was so cool when he's like, they're like, hey, you know, Joe's making angry watermelon slips, and I was like, oh, cool, he makes a slip for the angry watermelon fits into, and he's like, they're like, no, he makes angry. It is specifically for. I was like, you got to be kidding me. So I went to his website and I was like, oh, here you go, right there, baby. I was like, oh, that's too cool.
Yeah.
So that's awesome. That's awesome. And again, Joe is fantastic. He's pretty much a wizard in his own right.
He is. You know,
did you see that bag he made for Christine?
I did. Yeah, that's amazing. So much stuff, you know. You know, I have a business card holder, you know, of his.
Yeah.
You know, the valet trays.
Yeah.
I carry a coin on me, so I have a you know, a coin slip.
Yep.
Again, before I knew I would be friends with Joe, I was a customer of Joe's.
Oh, yeah.
Customer of Lancelot Leather.
Sure.
And I mean, that's how we started talking.
Absolutely.
You know, and so I've said time and time again, it's refreshing that someone who's become a friend also does make quality products. Mm-hmm. Because there's nothing worse when you know someone that starts doing something and it's really not up to par or that great. And you know, you don't want to be rude to them, right? But
of course.
But yeah, I don't have to worry about that with Joe, with Matt, with Andrew. You know, these are guys that they're perfectionists, you know, and ever evolving too. You know, they don't rest on their laurels, and they're always thinking of new stuff and how to improve their craft. Truly, you know, I'd say everybody I'm involved with at this point is a master craftsman, but I can say without a doubt, when it comes to leather, there's a lot of good leather out there. Don't get me wrong.
Absolutely.
A lot of good leather out there.
Yep.
I would say Joe is amongst the top tier, you know, for sure.
Yep. And then of course, Forrest, I mean, I just saw I think he posted on Instagram, it's like a button-up shirt, but it's for the round table. I mean, he started making the Hanks, and now he's blossoming out. And him and I have even talked about potentially, you know, it's not so much a collaboration because he's doing the work, you know what I mean? But you know, I've talked with him about, hey, if you ever decide that you can do hats, you know, I just might give you an image and say, hey, if you want a Big Red EDC hat, go see Forrest and he'll make you one. Right. You know what I mean?
Sure.
Because I mean, the stuff that he's doing, I mean, I still have, I mean, the Hanks that he made me.
Yeah.
That is too cool. And then he's got, you know, he did the SKL one. And I just asked him, I was like, hey, you know, I ordered some Hanks from him because I want to give them away, you know, on SKL or whatever. And he's like, well, if you're going to give them on SKL, do you want me to put SKL on them? I was like, sure, why not, man? That just makes it a little bit more.
So, he's another example of ever evolving. You know, he comes from his family business is an embroidery. They've been into embroidering for over 3 decades over in Michigan. You know, he's a Michigan native. That's why, you know, his Hanks say crafted in Michigan.
Right.
So this is the business he was brought up in. And he just started applying it to the community that he's involved with, you know. So it started with my first Forrest Hank was during the DSKFS Christmas, the Secret Santa we did. You know, everyone, you know, it was just a basic little, I didn't even know that he made it. I was like, oh, cool. He included a Hank. And then he's like, oh, I made that. Oh, that's awesome. And then he started making a little bit more. And then he started putting tags on them. And then he started improving the stitching. And now he's invested into a full-on, you know, embroidering machine.
Where?
Where? I got two. Oh, you know, so yeah, just like yours, you know, he started to make people. So this is Snuzz Nuzz's logo.
Yeah.
You know, so it's not going to be just Hanks. He is again branching out, and he's doing shirts. He's going to be able to do patches. He's going to be able to do hats.
And that was the other thing. If he starts doing patches, we'll definitely be talking about that, because I don't know how many times I have had people ask me, "Are you going to do patches?" And I'm like, at some point, yes. Right. But it's just, I've seen some of the pains Zach has went through with his patches, and I'm like, I want to do it. And I mean, you can do them through like somebody like Zug Monster stuff, but they're not. I'd rather go through somebody like this. You know, somebody in the community, somebody that really, really is part of everything. And these people that we've mentioned, including yourself, are part of everything. You see them everywhere. You see them everywhere, which is awesome. And who wouldn't want to support that?
Well, and that's just the way I look at it. Again, and I want to be clear. There's a lot of good. We're just talking about a couple right now.
Exactly. Absolutely. Absolutely.
So many awesome people, and they're all, you know, they're all friendly with each other. You know, it's good competition, so to speak. But the way I kind of approach it is the people that before I had a channel, I was talking to these guys in the chat and, you know, hanging out in all the different chat rooms. And so, you know, I've just created kind of that camaraderie with this group. And now that they're actually, you know, becoming small businesses, I think it's awesome. And I want to help support that, you know.
Absolutely. Absolutely. You know? And like you said, yes, there are many out there, and not only these people, there's many out there that are involved and do fantastic work. We're just covering a small portion, very but small, but yet near and dear portion. Because I mean, these aren't only people that make things, these are friends, these are and yes, so a lot of these people I've never met.
Mhm.
but it's people I've talked to for at some 3, maybe 4 years.
Right.
So
Right.
you do build this, long distance friendship, if you will.
Sure.
A long distance relationship, right? Right. So, and that's cool because, and then the minute you meet, it's like, I mean, you're just old friends at that point.
And that's how it was when we finally got to meet face to face at the West.
Yeah.
And how it's really been with everybody. Pocket Metal, the first time I met him, it's like you've already been talking to someone for so long. It's just natural when you finally meet in person, you know. And there's no awkwardness.
No, it's definitely like it's not the first time you know.
Right.
Exactly.
Right. Brandon Thrasher is a good example of that. You know,
Sure.
Went down. It was last November after talking to Brandon however long. I was working down in the Salem area and met up with Brandon, and literally we both pulled up at the same time where we were meeting up, got out, gave each other a big bro hug, went and sat down and just started BSing.
Sure.
Like we had 1,000 times, through chats and whatnot, so
right.
Really, really nice things about this community is it's the camaraderie. I think we all say that. Yeah, sure, there's a common interest in knives, and EDC gear, but just the general camaraderie. Some of my closest friends now are people that I haven't necessarily met in person yet, but I
100%.
But I talk to these people every single day, and
absolutely
about all aspects of life. It's
absolutely 100%.
They know about my daughter. I know about their kids. We know about each other's work, and so that's one thing that's I love the most about it.
Absolutely. And it's funny you mentioned that, about meeting up with Brandon, right? So it was a couple weeks ago that I'm going back to Nebraska to see my mom here in a couple of weeks. And right after I talked about it on SKL one night, right after that, I'm not gonna say his name because I don't know if he wants me to, but somebody hit me up right afterwards and said, "Hey, I know you're flying into Omaha. I'm pretty sure you're flying into Omaha." I'm like, "Yep." He's like, "I live a couple hours away. Is there any way that we can meet up?" And I was like, "Well, I tell you what, I come in at such and such a time. If you want to meet up, we can go grab a bite to eat or something." He's like, "I'll be there." And I'm like, right on, just stuff like that is just, it's so, and it's somebody that's I've never met. He's not a content creator. That's the word I was looking for. He's somebody that's been in the chat and we're friends on Facebook now, and he's a member of all these Facebook groups. It's just somebody that's always there and you always talk to. And now I get the opportunity to meet him face to face. So that's the cool. And like Blade Show. You're going to Blade Show, if I remember correctly.
I am going to Blade Show, yes.
Good.
Yeah, I hear there's also going to be knives at Blade Show.
Somebody said that. I don't know.
All I've been talking about is meeting up with, everybody,
Dude, it happens every time.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, let's see. I'm going to go talk to this maker and I'm going to go talk to these guys. And I'm going to go talk to these guys. And yeah, I talked to one or two of them, maybe shoot a couple of videos. I'm meeting people, and that's the fun part about it. That takes precedence over. I'm like, well, I guess I should be doing stuff if it'd probably be good for the channel, but I'm having too much fun doing this other stuff. So maybe I'll do it tomorrow. Just kind of the way it works out.
I'll be documenting quite a bit of it, vlogging, because I'm embarking on a road trip to Blade Show.
Yes.
I am leaving here in Western Washington. I'll be picking up Snuz, who's currently hiking the Pacific Crest Trail.
Yeah.
So I have the Nuz Tracker 3000. I have his GPS. And when it comes time to finally leave, wherever he's at is where I'm picking him up.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, no. That's awesome.
And then continuing on into Arizona, where meeting up with Mattisfaction and Cue Ball at Cue Ball's house. We're going to stay the night at Cue Ball's, and then we're going to carry on. We're going to make a pit stop in Oklahoma to visit Jack's Lungs EDC.
There you go.
And meet up with Jake, stay the night there, and then continue on to Atlanta, where we got a Airbnb with a couple other folks as well.
Sure.
But yeah, we plan on, you know, all the road trip shenanigans will be, you'll see content popping up from me, Maddie, Snuzz, a lot of joint collaboration stuff, you know, and just all the, you know, yeah, it's going to be fun. It's going to be
definitely be fun. That will be awesome. That's cool. I am flying. I am flying. And man, that was kind of a little bit of a shock when I went to book my plane tickets. I was like, gee, okay. All right.
You know, I keep hearing that flights are so cheap. And then when the couple of flights I've had to book, I'm like, where are these cheap prices everyone's talking about? You know?
Exactly. I'm like, okay, well, all right, well, we're going. So we're committed now. So, but yeah, no, that's going to be cool. And can't wait. It's going to be a lot of fun. I'm going to meet because I've been to Blade Show West a couple of times, but I've actually never been to Atlanta. Yeah. And it's basically a completely different crowd than Blade Show West. It is, because you have not a lot of the people from East come to Blade Show West for whatever reason. You know, it's across country, probably the same reason I've never went to Atlanta, although I was supposed to go to Atlanta 2 years ago when I got canceled because of COVID, of course.
Yeah.
Then last year, it wasn't working out, so I didn't get to go. But going this year, and now Blade Show West is in Salt Lake City.
And that's in October?
Yeah, the 7th and 8th, I believe, October 7th and 8th.
I have a sneaky suspicion I'll end up going to that one as well.
Well, I told Nellie, I was like, oh, Blade Show West is in Salt Lake City this year. And she's like, where are we staying?
Yeah.
That was what I got, because we went out there one time when we did the whole like Southern Utah, the parks and stuff. Yeah. Oh, if you've never done that, you have to do that.
Gorgeous out there.
Beautiful, beautiful country. And it's almost mind-boggling that something like that is, I mean, it's fairly close, honestly. In the big scheme of things, it's fairly close, but just the rock formations and everything, it's amazing to kind of like wrap your head around how all that happened. But yes, if you've never got the opportunity, I highly recommend it. It's a beautiful, beautiful area. Zion and Bryce Canyon and all those beautiful, beautiful area.
Yeah.
So we've got some pretty cool area up here in the Pacific Northwest.
We do. We don't have the canyons.
No.
That. You know, we got all the forests and mountains, you know, but nothing quite like that.
No. You know? No. Oh, what is doggone it? What's the bridge up there? The high, it's not a suspension bridge. That high bridge. Oh gosh, darn it.
Pass?
I'm sorry. Yes.
Deception Pass. Yeah.
Deception Pass. That area is pretty cool.
That's I love that area. I absolutely love that area. And actually that's where you know, when Justin OCD for ECD was out here during the Pacific the meetup down at Benchmade, he had got to spend some time up there, and I'm glad he got to see that area, because that is, you're looking out into the, you know, the Strait of Juan de Fuca out into that area, and it's Western Washington has a lot of gorgeous, you know, up and along. I mean, from, you know, down where you're at, all the way up the coastline. You know, the Puget Sound area is, you know, when you get outside of the cities, you know, and you get into up and down the coastline, man, it's gorgeous, and I love it. And that's one of the reasons why I like where I'm at in Western Washington. It's kind of similar to you. I'm 20 minutes from the ocean, the Puget Sound,
Mhm.
and then I'm a half hour from the foothills of the Cascade Mountains.
Yep.
I think probably closer to the Olympics.
Yes, yes, absolutely.
But that's what I love about this area. You
Yeah.
know,
Yeah, because I mean, yeah, I'm probably 10 minutes from the Sound.
Mhm.
I'm about 5 minutes from the Hood Canal.
Right.
To get to the ocean, what are we talking? 2.5 hours, maybe ish.
Yeah.
But then to the Olympic Mountains, yeah, you're talking probably 45 minutes to an hour to get to where you can really get up into the mountains and look.
Right.
And so, I mean, yeah, there's a little bit of everything.
Yep.
And the only bummer part about it is right where we're at, you got to go a ways to get to a sandy beach.
Yeah.
We're all oyster shells.
Yep.
For the most part. There's one place, it's up by Kingston. It's called the Point No Point. There's a lighthouse up there.
Yep. That's out at the lighthouse. Yeah.
Yeah,
You got
there's a sandy beach, and that's maybe just because it's 2-lane road and stuff. It's maybe a half hour.
right.
But
Yeah, Pacific Northwest, to get the good sandy beaches, you got to start hitting like the Oregon coast. You know,
yeah.
is in my opinion, as much as I love Washington, the Oregon coast to me is like that's where I go to vacation.
Yeah.
You know, I love the Oregon coast. I've been going down there since I was a kid, and yeah, I love the Oregon coast.
Oh yeah, it's really really pretty down there. Absolutely. So, well, we talked a little history.
Yeah.
We talked a little bit. We kind of talked about the present, but so as far as your knife and your knife collecting goes, where are you at in your journey right now?
Well, right now, I've kind of joined the slip joint renaissance. You know, and I really attribute that to my good pal Pocket Metal, who is
yeah. Oh yeah.
aficionado.
Definitely.
So I've really, you know, I've got my first couple GECs. You know, I just got the toenail clipper, which is just an amazing knife. So I've been really focusing on slip joints as of late, and then I'm really kind of focusing on makers specific or designers specifically.
Okay. Sure. Sure.
So like I'm a big Todd Knife and Tool fan.
Absolutely. Okay.
I happen to have I did bring some knives out. You know, they have the you know, the Roxy 3.
Oh yeah.
You know, and just got this in a trade with Grumpy Grunt, the Roxy 4.
Oh yeah, there you go.
You know, and then they got their Best Tech offerings, you know.
That's some hashtag pokey stabby for you right there.
The malware is stabbiest.
Yeah.
Now this is not a hard use knife by any means. This is a you know, a very thin behind the edge, just slicing, stabbing machine though. And then one of the other so combined, I'm going more towards the budget side of things a lot lately.
Yeah.
I realize I haven't focused. I've missed out on so much good. There's so many good that's out there in the budget era, and one of the guys that are in that playing in that space is CM Knife Designs, Colin Mason Pierre.
Okay.
You know, he's got the Kube hide.
Oh yeah.
Got the Royale. I call it the Royale, the cheese. These Kube and all these Kubes are like 50. He's got the Duroc.
Oh yeah.
You know, these are all like $50 knives, and you know, sitting right next to me, I have an Arius, which is kind of like my Grail knife.
Sure.
But like this $50 Kube, I don't care where you're at in your knife collecting, whether you're high end, low end. This is a good knife.
Oh sure.
And you know, that's where I think I've missed out on some of that stuff. So, but definitely Colin Mason Pierre, CM Knife Designs is a designer. And then I'm always first and foremost, my first love in what kind of got me into collecting knives is Ferrum Forge.
Oh yeah.
And that's they're responsible for getting me into kind of more higher end knives.
Sure.
That's they kind of piqued my interest there. So I'm always collecting Ferrum Forges. I think I'm about to do my collection dive video. I think I got like 28 of their knives.
Really? Wow.
Yeah, it's a very extensive collection. But so yeah, slip joints again. I'm waiting to get a Jack Wolf. I'm kind of he's got so many awesome designs. I know I'm not going to be able to get them all. So I'm kind of waiting for I think is it the Venom or the Viper? It's his Warncliffe.
Yeah.
That he's got coming out. But I've seen the Jack Wolves are awesome.
I'm kind of the low drag. That's the one that I'm kind of because it's got that nice spear point on it.
Yeah.
But I did get a sharpshooter. I tell you, man, I was like, because it was I'm trying to save for Blade Show, and I just got a stout, and I'm like, okay, all right, I can do this. I wasn't going to. I'll be perfectly honest. I was gonna wait, and I'm like, I've talked to Ben several times. I mean, Ben's a fantastic guy, and everything that he's gone through to get these knives to the market and to the people. I was like, I gotta have one of the first ones. Sure. I think it just seems. I think I just do.
Right.
Whether I do or whether I don't, I just think I do. So I ended up getting one. But I haven't got it yet. It's coming. It's on the way.
Yeah.
I'm waiting. But the thing he's got about it is, I mean, that you want to talk about maniacal isn't the right word. He's so a perfection. He's there too. He's
laser focused on.
Oh my goodness, he is.
Yeah.
It's amazing. And I tell you what, I did see KC's. He sent it to me to check out. That has to be the best built slip joint I've ever seen in my life. And I mean no disrespect to GEC or any of those Pena. I no disrespect to those guys because they have quality work as well. I tried to find a seam on this knife and I couldn't.
That's what I keep hearing, man. I keep hearing that same thing over and over.
The back spring is the poles. She was shooting for about a 7 on the pole. I'm no expert on poles by any means. And I would call it between a 6 and a 7. That's where I see it at. So I'm thinking he hit his mark.
Right.
It snaps into that half stop. It snaps open. The walk and talk is awesome. And I say this all the time, and I know he can't. I know there's an NDA out there, and he can't discuss it. But I'm still going to say it again. Whoever made those knives should be taking credit for it because they're beautiful.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I get it. It's business. I understand. So.
The other one that I'm really looking forward to in the slip joint world is from Austin over at Traditional Pocket Knives as the Ohio Riverjack.
Mm-hmm.
And
yes.
3 different blades. He's got the 2 blade,
the single blade,
the sheep's foot, and then the different micarta handles for each one of those. Mm-hmm. Those look pretty. I'm very, very interested in those as well.
I'm pretty sure I'll probably be ending up with one of those as well. Because, and there again, not just because the knives are probably going to, I have no doubt those knives are going to look good because just from what I know of Austin and speaking, I mean, I've done a channel chat with him. He is one of the people that I'm very looking forward to meeting at Blade Show. Sure. Is Austin. He's going to be there. I would love to meet him and talk with him. Because I kind of gave him a hard time when we did our channel chat because we call ourselves knife guys, right? Yeah. He was a knife guy because he had a knife collection before he was even born.
Right.
From his grandfather had started a knife collection for him before he was ever here. Yeah. So I'm like, to me, brother, you are the epitome of a knife guy. If you've got a collection before you're born, you're good. You're golden. But yeah, those are so good looking and really, really good. And again, just an awesome, awesome guy.
Right.
I mean, just a terrific guy. Every receipt or, packing slip that I've ever got, there's been a handwritten message saying, thank you so much, and even, just in talking with him and doing stuff, I hit up guys from time to time for stickers for the swag bags and stuff.
Sure.
Dude, I tell you what, he drowned me in stickers. Yeah. He sent me so many. He's a part of the community.
Yep.
That's and I know we kind of throw that term around. We throw that saying around quite a bit, but it's the truth.
Absolutely.
I don't, there's no other way to put it. And I mean, that's what we have. That's what we've built, and have come together. And that's what I enjoy.
Yeah, absolutely. And, one of the things that I think we keep hearing time and time again is the story behind the knife and the makers themselves and their story.
Yeah.
To me, that's part of my knife buying experience. Absolutely.
That makes Finch knives for me. The stories behind the knife. This one was named because Spencer and his dad went fishing one time and they used the Chernobyl ant. That was the fly they were using. I mean, I love to fish, so I'm not a fly fisherman, but that was the Runtley, they had me hooked from the get-go.
Yeah.
Pattern after a fishing lure, it's a knife. Okay, I'm sold. And that's just, that has a lot to do it. And that's why people ask me all the time, are they worth it? Because they are on the higher end of their materials, and they are. I'm not gonna say they're not. And people ask me, are they worth it? And I was like, the best answer I can give you is they're worth it to me.
Right. I say the same thing about Finch. Sidebar, one of the very first times I was influenced to buy a knife, I don't know if I told you this or not, was watching your 1929 video. That was my first.
I think you have. I think you've told me that.
That was my first look at Finch, and I was watching yours, and I was like, my mind is made up. I have to get one of these, and that was my very first Finch, and yeah, I love Finch. I got 3-4 of them. Recently got the Roadrunner. Definitely that Chernobyl ant is very.
These are. I mean, people. That's all I've heard from like the Roadrunner video. Even probably back further than that. People are like, I'm waiting for the Chernobyl ant. I'm like, well, guys. Well, by the time people see this, they'll probably be available.
Right. It's very close.
So I know they're going out at the time I think they're supposed to go out to dealers tomorrow at the time we're recording this. And he said probably midweek we might start seeing them. And there again, Austin, traditional pocket knives, that guy's usually got them for sale first. I don't know. I think he just must be like waiting to pounce. And as soon as he gets the notification, he has got him. Yeah, yep. I think so. He must because he's got them up before anybody else does.
I've gotten all my Finches from traditional pocket knives.
Yep.
Yeah, and they're a great company, and just all their designs that they got going, and knowing that they're the timeline when you look and all the stuff that they have in the hopper, and my collecting loves it. My pocketbook hates it.
Oh, tell me about it. Absolutely. I mean, yes, my pocketbook, not so much. I love, and I'm looking here because I'm not as cool as a lot of people. I don't have StreamYard, so I can't share a screen, but that's okay. But have you seen this?
I have the Patriot.
The new 6. Well, there's 6 of them. The Patriot, the Port Bell, that one too.
Oh, the
The
regulator.
regulator. Oh.
Yeah.
And then this, that's basically kind of looks like a slip joint version of the devil's finger.
Yeah.
It kind of has that resemblance. But we were talking about slip joints,
Yep.
and it's like, God, when are these coming out now? It's like, oh my God.
I know.
I'm gonna have to start maybe getting a second, maybe a third job to try to afford all these knives. But it's a lot of fun.
It really is. It really is. Yeah, so that's kind of back to your original question, where am I at in my knife collecting? I trying to dial it back a little bit. There's just so much good stuff that's constantly coming out, and pre-order after pre-order. I think I probably have like 4 or 5 things on pre-order right now. Trying to hone that in a bit because I want all the knives. I can't have all the knives though.
Exactly.
So you got to pick and choose, and it's hard. Yeah. But that's also one of the things I like about is moving them along, and or trading them, and
Sure.
I play in the secondary market, quite a bit.
Sure.
And so that's part of it as well. Again, just the ever evolving collection, but yeah, really focusing in on the makers individually is where is kind of where I'm focused at right now. That's, I think, all of my 2021 or all of my 2022 purchases have been based around the specific makers, and then knives coming from the the community as well. The Devo,
exactly.
Knives, the Stout, which is kind of great for me because again, I'm a Colin Mason Pierre fan. CM Knife Design is one half of Devo Knives with another one of our good pals, Kevin. Who, Kevin is kind of, I don't want to give him credit because he'll take the credit anyway. But, Kevin was kind of the one that coaxed me into starting a channel. Before I even had a channel, when I was just on Instagram and in the chats and whatnot.
Sure.
He had me on one of the Lefty Lives, and I was like, "You should start a channel." Maybe I will. So he's someone that again, I just started having conversation with early on. Started following him, from the early days of his channel. To see him, where he's at now, designing knives from napkin sketches, and I got to see the napkin sketch when he first, started talking about it, and then did get one of the Stout prototypes in, and I wanted to be critical of it. I wanted to find something. I wanted to be like, dude, this is garbage. This is garbage.
Oh, you mean you wanted to lefty it?
Right. And they did a great job, man. I'm really proud of those guys for what they have done.
That was QSP, right?
USP, yeah. Who's just killing it. They're just killing it. Yeah.
QSP.
With Finch, their own stuff. Great job. I think they're doing the Ohio River Jack also. I think QSP is doing that one for. I thought I read somewhere that that's going to be, maybe not. Their work with EMP EDC, the Nimble. I know that's who Casey was going to go with. He's another one that love seeing that he's got something else in the works now. But I was part of the Kickstarter for that. I really wanted to again show the support to the guys that I've been watching.
Absolutely.
So I got the Avant, the Lift Concepts Avant from Bearded Gear and Ryan Rimmer. So I'll probably, as the content creators that I've been following for some time start crossing into the knife world, I'll probably be supporting those as well. So
I'll tell you right now, you got nothing to worry about from me.
Yeah, no,
That's nothing. That's nothing that I have even thought about doing at this point.
Yeah,
Not even remotely.
I don't have any ambition. I'm never say never, but
I'm not saying I never will, but
right.
as of today, I have no desire. And
I
the reason is I like just simple designs.
right.
And simple designs have been done.
Yeah.
I mean, like Laconico, his clean. That if I were to design a knife, unfortunately, it would probably look a lot like that. And then what did I hear? Hey, that looks like an MBK knife, or that looks like a Laconico knife. And I'm like, well, yeah, it does, because that's what I like. So yeah, exactly. So
Yeah. No, I'm not interested in going. Although I have been throwing the idea of around of maybe designing a beard comb. I got one that I've just been tinkering around with. I got some ideas, but
it would go perfectly. It would go perfectly.
maybe you'll see a said Stevie folding beard comb at some point. They're out there, but I don't want a metal. They got ones in different steels and whatnot.
Yeah,
I won't put metal on my beard. That's a beard no. So trying to figure out how to do something in rosewood or something would be
sure. Yeah, absolutely.
totally up my alley. So who knows?
Very cool.
Yeah.
Very cool. Man, this has been off. Now, okay, now I'm going to tell you something. Does it feel like we've been going for like an hour and 20 minutes?
Have we really?
Yeah, seriously.
Wow.
About that long. See, that's what I love about these things is you get lost in them.
Right.
You just get lost in them because you just start talking.
Sure.
Like I said, I always have those couple little icebreaker questions just to get it going. And once it gets going, it's like a fire. It feeds itself.
And I mean, I can annoy myself though. I'm a gabber when I start talking with someone. I can get but no, I mean that is the awesome part about this is I said before if we're gonna have just a natural conversation, I can do that.
Oh yeah.
And that's what's been fun about this so far.
Oh, absolutely. So, dude, I really, really appreciate you helping me getting back into doing these because I really do love doing them. And it's just, it got to the point where scheduling, well, like I told you before, I was trying to push too many. I really was. And I was doing one a week. And, then when I miss a week, I was like, oh man, I missed a week. And that's okay.
Right.
Not the end of the world. And so I'm probably not going to be doing them once a week. I might be doing them maybe once a month, maybe twice if I can fit it in,
Sure.
because, and I told you, there's a lot of guys I want to talk to. I want to get with Maddie. I want to get with Pocket Metal, and I want to do Pocket Metal, and I want to do like an hour and a half with him. But the whole time he's got to be doing the, so by the time he's done, I want him to be hoarse as all, no, I really don't want him to do that, but there's so many people out there I want to do set
absolutely.
up with.
But I'd like to thank you too, JB. Early on, you were a big part of, giving me shout outs on SKL and, from, Zach, and, you put my link up during Zach's stuff lives, so that's much appreciated too, brother.
Absolutely,
really,
man.
I'm humbled by the how helpful people have been, and again, you really have been a supporter early on, and it's nice, and I feel like there is a little bit of that Pacific Northwest, brotherhood there. We got so many of us up here.
Sure. Absolutely. And those meetups are fun.
Yeah, for sure.
And hopefully we can do another one here pretty soon and, get some, because there's a lot more people up here, you got Mild Mannered EDC. And as far as makers, you got Wirtz Knives, they're in Tacoma.
Yep.
I mean, you've got Bradford.
You got Bradford over in Bellevue.
Yeah, I mean, they're right here,
Yeah.
so maybe hopefully at some point we could get somebody like that to maybe join us and just kind of,
Awesome.
it would be terrific. It would be so cool. So,
Yeah.
or maybe even, I don't know exactly what Bradford's setup is like, but if we could do something kind of like we did at Benchmade.
I mean, if that would be great, because they're in a little industrial
Yeah.
area over in there in Bellevue. That's what was so awesome when I happened to be out of town, and so I wasn't going to be able to get it. But when I ordered my my Guardian 3, they're like, you can just come pick it up. That was but yeah, so that would be amazing. But yeah, there's so many people. Z-Man. We
Exactly. Yeah.
got Pocket Metal. It's so many.
Cascadia EDC. I don't know if you're familiar with Cascadia.
I am. Yes. Yes.
Yep. He's from right over there in the Seattle area.
Yeah.
Oh, there's so many around, and yeah, it would be very, very cool to get. It'd be really cool to kind of like Peter and Christine do. They have their Baca that they call it, their Bay Area collectors, whatever it is. That would be, if even to get something like that, that would be pretty cool.
Yeah, as long as I don't got to organize it, I'm
Unfortunately, I think we're on the same page with that. I'm with you. I'm with you there. Yeah.
I'll definitely be willing to help contribute to that.
It'd be really cool if somebody else did it.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm not gonna lie. I'll be up front. Yeah, it'd be really cool if somebody else set it up.
Right. I'll bring refreshments.
There you go. There you go. Right. But well, brother, I think I'm gonna bid you adieu for tonight. But thank you so much once again, guys. Said Stevie. If you have not seen Said Stevie, there he is. You need to go to Said Stevie's channel, check him out. And where's that beard oil? If you're a bearded man, Said Stevie's coming out with his own beard oil, beard balm, and you heard it here that there may be a beard comb in the works as well. So
we'll see. Yep,
you
coming
never
up
know.
soon, man. We're less than a month away from where I'll officially be selling it. So stay tuned, everybody, to look out for the EDC Roundtable. We're out on Instagram right now. We got a Facebook group. Again, lots of cool people that I'm collaborating with. Yeah.
And of course, your links. I'll put EDC Roundtable's links down there. Of course, people can definitely go check it out. But thank you so much, brother. Greatly appreciate it. And I hope you have a fantastic rest of your evening, my friend.
Very much appreciated, JB. Pleasure.
All right. Bye-bye.